Hi, my name is Lance Corporal Mojeski.
I'm Private First Class Camarillo.
PFC Gonzalez.
Private First Class Rossetti.
My name is Lance Corporal Day.
PFC Jones.
Just finished boot camp.
Going to school in Pensacola, Florida.
I just graduated Marine Corps basic training.
Next I'll be going to Marine Combat Training.
And
After that I'll be going to ammo technician school.
I'm 3521.
I'm in 1833.
I'm 0621.
I'm an aviation technician.
Field radio operator.
And I work on trucks, Humvees, LVSRs, 7 tons.
Fixing planes and traveling the world.
As an amphibious assault vehicle crewman.
Hey guys, so I wanted to make a little video on how to pick your MOS and basically kind of like what goes into that. I apologize if my bun is a little bit frizzy right now just because I just took my cranial off. So I'm still on student status. I'm in school to become a 6531 aviation ordnanceman. And I really like my schoolhouse, and I've been in the Marine Corps for almost a year now. So every MOS has a school that is attached to it. You don't just graduate boot camp and automatically become like a combat cameraman or even an infantryman. You go through follow-on schools in order to gain that MOS. Mine, I'm an air winger, hence the coveralls. I have no patches yet or anything like that just because I am a student, so my rank is pinned on my lapels here. Basically, what happens is when you go through MEPS and you complete your medical physical, you're qualified, you're depped in, you will sign a contract that will basically state what your MOS number is or the generic code that is associated with it. Picking your MOS is probably one of the most vital parts of the entire process because yes, you'll be a Marine, but as a Marine, your job could be being an infantryman, being admin, intelligence. You can be an air winger like me. You can be an amphibious assaultman. Like there's so many different MOSs you could be. Like you could be a cook. And everybody makes jokes about that, but I've heard like the school is actually like pretty fun, but I don't know. You do you, boo boo. A good amount of thought should go into picking your actual MOS. Don't just let a recruiter be like, oh, here, you can be this, and then sign. Do some research, figure out like what you're interested in, and maybe go a little bit out of your comfort zone. So before the Marine Corps, I was a personal trainer. That was my life, and I enjoy, filming stuff with my camera. I was a photographer, and people were like, oh, maybe go like combat cameraman, and I was like, I do that already. I just want to try and do something out of my comfort zone. So I knew I was interested in aviation. So when I picked my MOS, initially I was like, oh, I want to be aircrew. So that score, so for me, I got a 96 on my ASVAB. That's the score that I got. So it opened up a lot of doors when it came to like picking my job. So before you even think about picking your job, think about doing as good as you possibly can on your ASVAB, because the better you do on your ASVAB, the more likely it is that you're going to get the job that you want, or a good job, because you can have a really low score and get stuck with something like water treatment specialist. Just saying, just be careful. People can go open contract, but I would not suggest that at all, because it's basically throwing up your future to the Marine Corps and being like, okay, pick for me. They're not going to give you a good job that all the slots are already taken. You're going to get like the bottom of the barrel, most likely jobs that people don't want to do. So do not go open contract. I don't care if you're going to ship out in a week if you go open contract. It's more worth it to wait for the job that you want than it is to pick open contract. Don't do it. I know so many people that regret it. Just don't. Be smart, be tactful with your decisions and the jobs that you pick. I know a lot of people that kind of just sign a contract. Don't just sign a contract. This is going to be your life for the next 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer. That job decision can deeply affect your career and the way that you view the Marine Corps and the military as a whole. If you get stuck with a job that you don't like, make the best of it, but do your best to avoid picking something that would cause problems in the future. Say like if you hate cars for whatever reason, don't go motor T. You're basically going to be working on cars. driving them, being an operator, or working on the actual mechanical like problems that they have. So, you know, just do your research before you pick a job, for sure. Get the highest ASVAB that you possibly can. Don't sign contracts just because recruiters want you to. Work for the job that you want. If you gotta wait. If you gotta work for a higher ASVAB score, do it. It's worth it. And honestly, just, you know, keep in mind that boot camp is just boot camp. It's not the real Marine Corps. Me right now, I don't even know the real Marine Corps yet, because even though I've almost been in for a year, I'm still a student. I don't know everything. I'm giving you advice on something that I've gone through myself. So honestly, just do the best you can and research and just pay attention to what you're signing. Because also the Marine Corps could change your MOS in the future if you fail tests, if you get dropped in training too much. That's very rare that they actually change your actual MOS. But yeah, so like, just be careful. And sometimes recruiters will legitimately not have the slots for you because so many people want that job. So you're gonna list the ranking of what MOSs you want, like 1 to 5, and they're gonna do their best to get you your number 1, number 2 choice. But the chances of like your number 1 choice always being available, it's not always the case. So keep that in mind. Don't be disappointed if you get stuck with something else. Just have MOSs in mind that you might like. And, you know, just roll the punches. Always expect the worst and you'll never be disappointed. That's something that I've always kind of like lived by, and it hasn't really failed me yet. So just always expect the worst and you'll always be happy with whatever outcome there is, because then like, you're really happy if you get your number 1 choice, but you're not disappointed if you get number 2. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's my insight on that. I'm very happy with all of the positive feedback that I've received on just my channel and whatnot. The reason I created it in the first place is because when I was initially going through the system as a young woman, as a poolee, I had so many itching questions that I wanted to ask, but I had nobody really to talk to or videos to watch. Like, there's a few out there, I'm sure you guys have already seen them, about boot camp, about MCT, about just being a female Marine, and there's just not a lot out there. And the reason I made my channel is because, you know, I was like, you know what, you know, maybe in the future there's going to be girls like me that want to know, that are curious, that, you know, want to know what to expect, at least a little bit. You might not know everything, and it's good to not know everything. I'm not going to divulge every single detail of boot camp, because there's parts of that you need to go through yourself and experience, and stuff that I'm not going to share, which is fine. I share a lot, but not everything. So yeah, I wanted to help future females coming through on kind of what to expect, because there's not that very many of us, and there's a lot of negativity that surround female Marines and a lot of stereotypes, and you just need to break that stereotype. Be a professional, but also like not lose sight of yourself and not be afraid to be goofy, and just be you. You can be you and be a Marine. It's a hard balance to maintain, and it's hard because a lot of people judge you, and a lot of people will come at you, and you just got to be strong enough to be like, you know, no, like, I can be a woman and I can be a professional at the same time, and it's not a bad thing. Bottom line is, don't be afraid to be you. Be yourself. Be strong. Be confident. Don't be afraid to get after things. That's my little motto speech for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this kind of content.